identity. But a spoken word that has the ability to enlighten and to illuminate and to develop and bring forth such substance can literally construct one's reality and future and hope. A word. Have you ever heard a word that calls you to smile in the morning? Have you ever heard a word that calls you to be happy throughout the day? Have you ever went back to reminisce on a word that was spoken to you that caused you to settle in the effects of what that word meant to you? Because understand, every word has a meaning. It has a definition. It has a way of portraying itself to you. Because Webster created a dictionary does not mean that's the ending of that word. Right. That was according to his ideology or his thinking that he became more illuminated to give his definition of a word. But you also have an identity with a word. Whatever that word has been in your life, whatever that word is that has been spoken to you, literally can shift or create you to become what you have so destined to be. Words have power. Words have meaning. Words have, watch this now, substance. Words have the ability to construct your very reality according to your imagination. Now, I said a word there, imagination, that literally scared 3 of y'all in the church. Because you thought, because you're in the church, that you don't supposed to have an imagination. But can I tell you that you are supposed to have an imagination? Because when you break down the word imagination, the root word of imagination is image. Okay, y'all just quiet over there. They come on, talk back. If I have an imagination, it is depicted on how I see myself according to the image of what I portray. You got to have an imagination because your image has to be portrayed according to what you believe the word is that you speak every day that creates your imagination. Now, the ending of the word imagination is nation. That means that's a people. And so what is the image of the people that is portrayed in the eyes of the public? It's according to what they say and how they say it and when they say it that deliberates the imagination that causes one to see you. It's the word that creates the image. Now, let me say it this way. If you speak something that does not denote the image that you want to portray, your imagination will automatically illuminate according to what you depict by what you hear. I'm going to say that again. The words that you say create the imagination of how you see a thing or how you see someone. It's because what you heard. Now here's the thing that I have to dispel in the atmosphere. Because if you are hearing the wrong thing, you will have an image of that thing to be depicted according to what you hear. That's why you have to guard what you hear. Because if you don't guard what you hear, you will start seeing it how the person said it. Somebody should have said amen there. The reason why you're in the situation that you're in because you heard that it wasn't going to be the way that you thought it was going to be, versus knowing that in the midst of your struggle, I see it according to how I believe it, not how I hear it. If I hear you say, and this is why I've been on this series, Living in Faith Expecting, because I need you to have a level of expectation that when you walk into certain situations and conditions and circumstances in your life, that you have the ability to begin to speak what God has already spoken. Because if you speak what God has already spoken, then the imagination that you have is to be positive and not negative. If you speak what God has already spoken, then you know that in the midst of your trial, that weeping only endure for the night, but joy is coming around in the morning. If you speak what God has already spoken, then you know that troubles don't last always. You're not going to have to cry all the time. But there's going to be a silver lining in the midst of the drought and the situation that will give you the hope that rainbow gave them hope, that God will never destroy the earth again by water. Whenever God gives you a sign, that has to always illuminate your imagination. And I always look for the signs that tells me that victory is right around the corner. Because what the signs show me is that God is not going to leave me, neither is he going to forsake me. What he has promised, he's well able to perform. Is there anybody in here know that God has spoken a word over your life, and that word is yea, yea, and amen? I wish I had somebody. It might seem denied, even though it might be delayed, but God never delayed your deliverance to destroy your hope. He delayed it to develop you and prepare you for what is getting ready to happen in your life. So seasons are designed to last just for a moment, and just as summer is in proximity, get ready. That's getting ready to be fall, and fall always heals everything that's not ready for what winter is getting ready to freeze. Because whatever is frozen, spring always develops and to be released in due time. I wish I had somebody. And if I'm frozen in the moment, the sun is going to shine again. And if it shines again, that means as the dew drops off of my frozen state, it will water the vegetation that has been planted in my winter and my fall state. That when spring comes, there is a blossom that arises. There is a root that is taking place. There is a bud that's about to sprout. There is a getting ready to be a deliverance, a harvest, a breakthrough. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm just here in a frozen state for a moment, but I'm getting ready to speak a word that has life. Look at your neighbor and say, I got life. I got life. Now look at Matthew, the 8th chapter. As we look at the text, Jesus just got finished healing the leper man. And this man of authority understood the ability that Jesus had in his capability to turn things that were opposite in the right direction. He understood that he can take a crooked situation and make it straight. And so when he heard that Jesus was in proximity of his destination, he ran to him to make a request. And that request was, Lord, can you come and heal my servant, for he is sick. Now understand, the first request was he needed something from Jesus. Is there anybody that needs something from the Lord? And so your first request is you must run to him and find what he has in his hand to give to you that will release the substance and the deliverance that you need. He said, Lord, my servant is of palsy and he needs to be healed. Now the other thing that I identified of this text is that he understood that Jesus was not coming to talk to him a good field message, but Jesus was coming to heal him. So when he came to Jesus, he knew what his capability was, and that was to bring healing. Oh, I'm getting ready to say something big as an elephant here, because a lot of times when we go on our knees and we begin to entreat the Lord, we tell the Lord about our problems instead of telling the Lord to give us a solution to our problems. Do you understand the Lord already know what you're in need of? That's why he said when you pray, you ain't got to tell me what you need. I know what you need. Here's what you have to do now. You got to be able to speak a word that transitions me to your problem to bring solution. Y'all just missed that. When the centurion came to him, he said, Lord, my servant is sick of palsy. He needs a healing. Now that's the word that has to be lying in your head. He needs a healing. He told the Lord what he needed in order for the Lord to activate. He had to see his ability to know that God can heal. Look at your neighbor and say, I know he can heal. I know he can heal. And so instead of telling the Lord your problem, tell the Lord, I need a solution. Watch this now. God is getting ready to release all the strategies in the next 10 days that's going to unleash your healing. I just heard the Lord say that. But you got to be able to see the signs of what he's getting ready to give you. Because when he releases strategy, then you got to know how to work strategy. Strategy is not a work of wishing, and strategy is not a work of a limited thinking. Strategy is not a work off of you wondering and hoping and wishing and desiring. Strategy is only worked by a spoken word. Because if you get a strategy, then you have to speak what you have in order for you to begin to write what you see. How can I say that again? You got to speak what you receive in order for you to write what you have received or see. Because you never can write a strategy down or a plan of action down if you didn't see it first. Yes, sir. It's not going to come to you by hocus pocus or even by magic, but it comes to you according to how you are imaging yourself. Yeah. And again, I have to go back. Your image is created by your words. And your words create the imagination of how you see yourself. And if you see yourself according to what you speak, then what you speak creates the image of how you're going to portray. Okay, let me give you an example. If I'm sick, then I have to say I am healed. I see myself healed. I see myself delivered. I see myself set free. I see myself coming out of this condition. I see myself mobile. I wish I had somebody. If you were broke, you have to tell yourself, there is money in my bank account at 12 o'clock today. Even though you don't have but 2 dimes and 4 nickels and 2 quarters that don't even add up to $1.50, but you have to say, I see 1,000. I see 2 million. I see 10,000. I see 100,000. Now when you get it, what you going to do with it? That when I get it, I'm going to create substance that will allow me to release something to somebody else because I'm a blessing to be a blessing. I wish I had somebody. God will always honor the words you speak according to how you imagine yourself that you might be that blessing. Look what the centurion did. He didn't come for him. He came for his servant. Oh, y'all missing it. He didn't come say, it's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord. No, he said, Lord, my servant is sick of palsy. He needs to be healed. Knowing that this centurion, this Roman, he needed something as well, but he understood. If I don't put the focus on me and put the attention on someone else, then my image is betrayed that I'm a helper one to another. And if he helps him, then I know he's able to help me. If I put my faith towards someone else, then I know God will extend that faith back to me. That's why it says more blessed to give than it is to receive. If I'm able to give my faith to someone, then God will give me more faith when I need it in the time of need. Because he gives to every man a measure of faith. That measure of faith has to be worked according to your imagination. How do you see yourself according to how you speak? What has been your conversation this week? Have you been speaking what God has already spoken? And if you've been speaking what God has already spoken, then your conversation is according to how you see yourself. Mother Nelson, I saw us with 1,300 in the building. Even though we only had 400 tickets sold on Friday night, the Lord gave me peace, knowing that in the midst of the struggle there was getting ready to be a deliverance. So my faith was challenged according to what I spoke into the atmosphere. Then I had to work my faith in order to create the image of what I was portraying. Before the night was over, Sister Farmer, the place was jam-packed because somebody dared to speak what they so desired to see. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm speaking, I'm speaking, I'm speaking, I'm speaking. What are you speaking? Look at your neighbor and say, I ain't speaking no more negatives. stuff. Come on, tell them I ain't talking that negative stuff. If you're talking negative, you got to get out of my proximity. Because God has given me a positive view. He's given me a preview of what I'm about to be. Is there anybody in here see yourself in the future? And you know you look much better in the future than you do right now. I wish I had about 3 faith builders. Because what I'm doing right now is building your faith. Because there's power in a spoken word. The centurion understood and he knew this. He said, Lord, I know you want to come right now, but you don't even have to go. Because I understood the position of wordplay. I understand conversation. I understand sounds. I understand vibration. That if you speak a thing, it has to come to pass. Because I am, watch this now, a man under authority. Now I'm getting ready to say something big as an elephant. Every last one of you have authority. I'm going to say it again. Every last one of you have authority. Because greater is he that's within you than he that's within the world. And since the greater one lives within you, you have authority over every situation in your life. The centurion understood. He said, I'm a man of authority, and I know how much authority you have. All you got to do is speak a word. If you speak that word, that vibration of that word is getting ready to travel in the atmosphere, breaking through the sound barrier. I wish I had somebody. Creating a moment that cannot be denied. Every time you speak that word, it's breaking down barriers. Every time you speak that word, it's breaking down walls. Every time you speak that word, it's creating momentum. And that momentum is giving you an accelerated moment. I wish I had somebody. And every time you speak what God has already spoken, there's nothing that the devil can do to stop that word to come to pass. When Jesus spoke the word went directly to where it was assigned. You want Bible now. Isaiah 55 says, seed time and harvest. You sow that word just as the rain comes down from heaven and waters the earth and will not return back to you void, but will accomplish that it was sent to do. So is your word that has been spoken. It will not return to heaven until it accomplished what it was designed to do. Oh, can I tell you this morning? I know it seems bleak, but the word is working. Look at your neighbor and say, the word is working. It's working on my behalf. The word has already been spoken. It's been spoken for this purpose. The purpose that it was spoken for was to bring me my hope and my deliverance. And every word that God has said has the propensity to be brought forth in my season. Look at your neighbor and say, it's coming today. I declare the word to work today. Look at your neighbor and say, work word. Yeah, when Jesus spoke the word, the centurion understood that by the time he got home to see his servant, he had enough faith to know that you don't even have to come and touch the situation, let alone examine it. But if you send a word, the word has the power to create what has been lacking and to construct what is not even there. The word has the ability to develop and build what you need. I just said something there. If you're lacking something, I dare you to speak the word. Because the word will begin to work on your behalf. That before you know it, by the time you turn the corner, before the strike of day, midnight hits, that word has created the miracle that you need right now. I wish I had 3 people that need God to do something for you. Begin to speak that word. You know what you need God to do. I dare you to speak it. Just as the centurion said, heal my body, heal my servant. I dare you to tell God, make my bank account whole. Heal my body. Save my children. Redirect my vision. Give me faith in the midst of this. I wish I had somebody. I dare you to speak that word into the atmosphere. And what God is going to do, he's going to take that word and begin to work it on your behalf. He's working it out in your favor. Can I drop by and tell somebody sooner or later? I said sooner or later. I feel like preaching this morning. I don't know why, but I want to teach. But I'm going to say it one more time. Sooner or later. I said sooner or later. God is getting ready to turn it. Look at your neighbor and say he's turning it. According to his word. He's turning it. He's stopping all of hell's tricks. He's turning it. He's creating an aroma and an atmosphere that cannot be denied. He's turning it. He's getting ready to not only heal my body, but he's getting ready to heal my emotions. He's getting ready to heal my finances. Is there anybody in here that need God to heal something? Because when he heals, he brings complete wholeness. Anything that's lacking, anything that is needing God to move, he's well able to bring it to pass. I find somebody and say, yes, he will. Because every word that he's spoken over my life, he's getting ready to perform it today. Look what Jesus said. Jesus said, I marveled at the faith of this centurion. Why did he marvel? He ain't seen faith like that. Everybody wanted Jesus to come. Everybody wanted Jesus to touch. Everybody wanted Jesus to come into their presence. All he said, I don't even need you to come because I'm not even worthy for what you're getting ready to do. But all I need you to do is speak a word. Can I tell you today, Jesus is speaking into your situation. Every circumstance that have risen up against it, I hear the Lord say he's going to cast down words to give you a word. Because no weapon that's formed against you shall be able to prosper. Watch this now. And every word that has risen up against you shall be condemned. Can I tell you that every word that's been negative in your life, God is getting ready to give you a word that's getting ready to condemn every negative word. Look at your neighbor and say, I got a positive word. Guess what that positive word is? I am what God said. I wish I had somebody. And I can do what God says I can do. I wish I had somebody. And I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. Do I have anybody know that you are that? You are what God says you are. And so since you are what God says you are, you got to start speaking what God says you are. Because when the word goes forth, there's an imagination that comes out of you. Come on, over here now. That imagination is illuminating your thoughts. That imagination is causing you to come to another dimension of purpose. That imagination is seeing yourself out of the wilderness. Seeing yourself in the promised land. Seeing yourself out of death. Seeing yourself wealthy. See yourself prosperous. See yourself healed. See yourself delivered. Do I have anybody in here that said, Lord, do it again? what he's already spoken. He has no other choice to perform. Let me give you these and we're going home. I'm prophesying now. Listen, God is not satisfied, listen, with you having enough. But what pleases him is when you tap into the overflow. He's not pleased with you just barely making it through, just having enough. But he wants you to tap into the overflow. Lift your hands and say, I speak overflow. Come on, speak it, speak it. Speak it, speak it. Speak it, overflow. 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 Come on, speak it. Overflow. 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 Come on, speak it. Overflow. 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 I'm speaking into the life. Overflow. Listen. The overflow consists of the abundant provision of God's promises. And that overflow is going to give you the abundance of God's promises. Abundant is more than enough. Abundant is overflow. For he shall do exceedingly abundantly. Watch this now. Above all that you can even ask or think. Overflow. Receive it. It's a overflow. Overflow. It's God's will that you prevail in prosperity. It's not God's will that you forget him in your fortunes, but remember that it's God that enables you to succeed. Now this is for about 3 of y'all, and when you catch this, you're going to really believe God. Watch this. Before real success comes, watch this. God tries you through the reality of hardship. Before you can become what you've been speaking, he tests the thing, the very thing that you've spoken. And it's the hardship that creates the posterity of your success. So think it not strange when you fall into diverse tests, as though some strange thing is happening. Know this, that is working patience. And when patience has prevailed, it shall produce a perfect work, and you will not want for nothing. Lift your hands to overflow. I see you in the overflow. The transition from tragedy to triumph. In Jesus' name. And I thank you for overflow. Now come on, if you believe it, clap your hands and worship. I see you in the air. I see you. I said, I see you. Now this is what I need you now. Start seeing yourself. I see you. If you really see it, I need you to start walking in what you see. I see you. In the oil. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Shandalo. Yes, Lord. One of the main ingredients is that you have to have the power of a spoken word. Speak those things as not as though they are. And when you do, you see God as He sees you already. And that's complete. There might be one that is needing God to do something. And you've spoken that word. And you know that it's getting ready to be performed. If that's you, let me see you. Wave your hand. Amen. And it is so in Jesus' name. I don't have to lay hands on that. Just spoke the word. And it is so. Now all you gotta do now is praise Him. And it is so. And it is so. And it is so. In Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on and worship Him. Because it's already done. It's already. It's already. Already done. I am a heart. Listen, I want to open the door to the church again. Anybody wants to join, see the refuge, and give your life to the Lord. The doors of the church are open. Let me say amen. The doors of the church are open. The Lord is tugging on you. We're growing in a progressive ministry. And we're expecting great things. Give the city. Can we say amen? The Lord is tugging on you. It's an opportunity to be a part of a vibrant situation. Oh, I see you in your amen, amen. Come on, clap your hands. One and two. Oh, We'll be back on Tuesday night for Bible study at 7 p.m. Mark your calendar this Tuesday. Bible study at 7 p.m. as we continue and bring conclusion. Next Sunday I will conclude. Living in faith, expecting life. Can we say amen? We'll see you back on Tuesday night and then Sunday back. Sunday morning service. Let's stand. We're ready to go home. Thank God for His presence. Look at your neighbor and say, I need you. Tell them, I need you to survive. Look at the other neighbor and say, I love you. I'm not going to harm you with words from my mouth. But I need you to survive. With uplifted hands, Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship. We ask you now, let the words settle within us. Give us an illuminating understanding of who you are. We ask you now to do exactly what you've already spoken. Move us from heights to glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank God. Amen. Amen. You are dismissed. I love you.
If he doing Bible study on Tuesday, let's just rehearse.
Like okay.
That way, yeah. Not too.
Go ahead. It is well. It is well.
Well, church mother.
I don't know about it.
All right, church mother. We already call you Mother Nelson.